not trying to have messy TV. We just want a place where, and sometimes this happened with me and Killer when we're speaking, that we want this to be a place where everybody could bring their views to the table. Nobody has to let one view dominate the conversation. I think that's what makes healthy conversation, when everybody is able to say how they feel.
What if one innocent promo read about the most watched women's fight ever just unleashed a vicious war, accusing a host of hating black women? And now boxing legend Claressa Shields is gunning for an on-air beatdown against Cam. We're not talking about a simple disagreement over stats. We're talking about a full-blown explosion that's dragged private messages into the spotlight, turned a sports debate into a racial and gender firestorm, and now has producers baiting Shields to confront Cam live, promising to put him in his place. And if you think this is just about boxing numbers, think again, because the real knockout punch might be tied to Shields' tangled romance with rapper Papoose, where accusations of infidelity and public meltdowns are adding fuel to her aggressive stance.
Can I just say really quick?
Yeah.
The whole thing, and I'm not inserting myself into, I don't want any part of this. I'm just saying, when it was first discussed, Cam didn't say anything bad. So that's why I don't understand why, like, it just got so hostile. He actually was like praising her and was like, look, like she like that type of thing. It was never supposed to be any sort of discord.
It started with a single line. Cam, hosting a face-off between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, casually read from the cue cards, the most watched women's fight ever. The problem? Claressa Shields, the undisputed heavyweight champion and self-proclaimed GWOAT, wasn't having it. Within hours, she slid into his DMs with a correction. You got that wrong, champ. Cam, unfazed, fired back with a smirk. You got some catching up to do. After the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson spectacle pulled in record numbers. What should have ended there, didn't. Shields, a woman who spent her career demanding respect, saw red. This wasn't just about viewership. This was about erasure. And in her eyes, Cam wasn't just wrong. He was disrespecting the entire legacy of women's boxing.
What you are at this point, but she has a problem, and when she want to fight Jake Paul, she want to fight man. So I showed her when she was fighting and cleaned the clock. Stop playing with people like that.
By the next morning, Shields had turned a stats dispute into a personal vendetta. A 20-minute interview dissing Cam's credibility. Public posts accusing him of rewriting history. Then came the bombshell claim. Cam don't like black women. The internet, ever hungry for drama, latched onto it instantly. But here's where things get messy. Cam, a host known for his sharp tongue, doubled down. Not with apologies, but with receipts. He dug into Shields' record. 17 fights, only 3 knockouts. You want to be the 4th? He taunted. Shields shot back with a threat of her own. I'll make you the 1st. And just like that, a sports debate became a street fight, with both sides daring the other to escalate. But let's rewind, because the numbers don't lie, and neither does the money. Shields just inked an $8 million deal with Salida Promotions and Win Records, a partnership that gives her creative control and a platform to merge boxing with entertainment. Her last fight at Detroit's Little Caesars Arena? A sold-out crowd of 15,369, pulling in nearly $1.5 million at the gate. So when Cam questioned her draw, he wasn't just poking a champion. He was challenging a woman who spent years proving women's boxing deserves the same spotlight as the men. And Shields? She's not just fighting for her legacy. She's fighting for every female athlete who's been overlooked.
Into fights at school because I was being bullied. I was never the person to start the fights. I was actually scared to fight when I was younger.
Oh.
So my anger drove me to fight after being picked on for a very long time.
Right.
Yet here's the twist. While Shields was firing off public clapbacks, insiders claim Cam was privately laughing it off until the stalking accusations started. Sources say Shields tagged him in multiple videos, each one more aggressive than the last, until Cam finally snapped. This is stalking at this point. He warned her she'd get the attention you don't want. Shields, never one to back down, allegedly replied, "Let's go at it." And that's when the show's producers saw dollar signs. Why let a feud simmer when you can turn it into must-see TV? Rumors are swirling that they're now teasing a live confrontation, framing it as Shields' chance to put Cam in his place, on air in front of millions. The question isn't if it'll happen, it's whether Cam's ready for a champion who's made a career out of silencing doubters. But let's not forget the elephant in the room, because Shields' fury might not just be about Cam. Behind the scenes, her relationship with rapper Papoose has been a tabloid goldmine. Remember December 2024? That's when Remy Ma, Papoose's estranged wife, dropped a bombshell. Leaked texts between Papoose and Shields, where the boxer allegedly wrote, "You are the one who is married. If you can't at least sleep on the phone with me, it shouldn't be a big deal to let me know you made it home safe." Remy's caption? Papoose fell asleep on the phone with Claressa Shields. This woman's supposed to be a world champion boxer, and her scary hung up soon as she heard my voice. The internet lost it. Shields clapped back. How a woman with 2 boyfriends mad at a man that has a girlfriend? But the damage was done. The narrative had shifted. Was Shields' aggression toward Cam really about boxing stats, or was it displacement for a romance turning toxic?
Remy said he fell asleep on the phone with you. I don't know where your fiance was at for you to be able to fall asleep on the phone with another married man, because he's not divorced yet. And then demand that he check in with you and somebody else is already over his social security number. That you would mess up your own household. And I'm like, so how does it fit?
Papoose, never one to stay quiet, fired back with his own receipts. He accused Remy of cheating repeatedly, posted photos of her cozied up with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain, and claimed he'd requested a divorce numerous times. But here's where it gets uglier. Remy didn't just deny the affairs, she accused Papoose of physical altercations, even sharing audio of a heated argument where workers allegedly called the authorities to break it up. Meanwhile, Shields, caught in the crossfire, found herself dragged into a love triangle turned public spectacle. And if you think that's not affecting her mood, think again. This is a woman who, just months ago, broke up with her longtime fiancé because, as she put it, my soul didn't align with his anymore. Now she's linked to a man whose marriage is imploding in real time, while she's supposed to stay focused on a sport where mental edge is everything.
I don't give a I be bored responding.
So let's connect the dots. Shields is in the middle of the biggest deal of her career, a partnership that could redefine women's boxing. She's got a movie about her life, The Fire Inside, hitting theaters on Christmas Day. She's got opponents lining up, from Michaela Mayer to Franchon Cruz DeZern, all while chasing that elusive $50 million payday a la Floyd Mayweather. And yet, here she is, tangled in a feud with a host over viewership numbers, while her personal life becomes tabloid fodder. Is it coincidence that her aggression toward Cam peaked right as her relationship with Papoose went nuclear? Or is this a woman who's realized that in the court of public opinion, the best defense is a knockout offense? Now, the show's producers are rubbing their hands together. A live confrontation between Shields and Cam isn't just good TV, it's a ratings jackpot. Imagine it, the GWOAT, fresh off a sold-out Detroit show, squaring off against a host who's made a career out of pushing buttons. The promo writes itself. Will Claressa put Cam in his place, or will he expose the cracks in her armor? But here's the real question. If Shields steps into that ring, metaphorically or otherwise, will she be fighting for her legacy, or will she be swinging at the chaos in her personal life, using Cam as a stand-in for every doubter, every hater, every tabloid headline that's tried to define her? And let's not forget the wild card, Remy Ma, the woman who's made it clear she's not done exposing Shields' private messages, the woman who's accused Papoose of being a taker, not a giver, the woman who, just last week, challenged Shields to a boxing match with the words, "Come get your whooped, crash out." Shields laughed it off. I can't believe a 45-year-old woman is crashing out like this, but the invitation's out there. And if there's one thing we know about Claressa Shields, it's that she doesn't walk away from a fight.
So things got messy and still getting messy. More on the Remy, Pap, and Claressa trio. We reported on it yesterday, but things started to escalate.
So where does that leave us? With a champion who's got everything to prove, on the canvas, in the boardroom, and now, apparently, in a war of words, with a host who may have underestimated just how personal this would get. With a love triangle that spilled into the streets, turning private texts into public ammunition. And with a show that suddenly found its next main event, not in the ring, but in the studio, where one wrong word could turn a verbal spat into a career-defining moment. The only question left is simple. When Shields finally faces Cam, will she throw the first punch? Or will she let the numbers and the drama speak for themselves? The deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes. Cam's promo read wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It was a calculated jab at the very foundation of Claressa Shields' empire. Insiders familiar with the production team claim the cue card mentioning Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano's record viewership was no accident. It was a direct challenge to Shields' dominance, a subtle but deliberate attempt to downplay her recent $8 million deal with Salida Promotions and Win Records, a partnership that's supposed to cement her as the face of women's boxing. And let's be real, when you're talking about a woman who sold out Detroit's Little Caesars Arena, pulled in nearly $1.5 million at the gate, and just signed a contract that guarantees her more money than most male boxers see in their prime, the numbers don't lie. So why would Cam risk poking that bear? Sources close to the show suggest it wasn't just about ratings, it was about sending a message. No matter how high Shields climbs, there's always someone ready to cut her down to size. But here's where the plot thickens. Shields isn't just any champion. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a 5-division world title holder, and a woman who spent her entire career fighting for respect in a sport that's historically sidelined female athletes.
In knowing that you said you could beat me up and you said you was better than me, but if I get in the gym and I work hard and me and you fight, I beat you, I like to being like, there's nothing you can say about me beating you up, because that's literally like what happened. Like there's no, people like say, oh, I got robbed, this and that, but it was like, I get in the ring and dominate everybody. So it's like.
When she accused Cam of rewriting history and dropped the explosive claim that he don't like black women, she wasn't just firing back at a host, she was calling out a pattern, and the internet listened. Social media erupted with comparisons to past incidents where Shields' achievements were minimized, from promoters lowballing her early in her career to commentators dismissing her knockout power. Now, with Cam's promo read framed as just the latest slight, Shields' response wasn't just personal, it was a full-blown rebellion. And if you think she's backing down now, you don't know Claressa Shields. Let's talk about those knockout threats, because they're not just empty words. Shields has a history of calling out biases, and she's never been one to let a slight slide. Remember when she publicly challenged Layla Ali to a $15 million showdown, only for Ali to shut it down? Or when she clapped back at critics who said her heavyweight title defenses were against lesser opponents? This is a woman who thrives on proving doubters wrong. So when she told Cam she'd make him the 4th knockout, insiders say she wasn't just talking trash, she was issuing a warning. And with her relationship with Papoose imploding in the background, adding layers of personal betrayal to her professional battles, every word she's throwing at Cam carries the weight of someone who's done being underestimated.
That's battle rap. You know, everything is open for battle rap.
Is there
Gangsta gossip?
Is there a rap battle podcast? Y'all ain't never hear that?
Now, let's connect the dots between the beef and the broader drama, because this isn't just about boxing stats. It's about power, respect, and who controls the narrative. Shields' accusation that Cam has a problem with black women didn't come out of nowhere. It's rooted in years of fighting for visibility in a sport where female athletes, especially women of color, have to work twice as hard for half the recognition. And when you factor in the timing, right as her deal with Win Records, the same label tied to Papoose, is making headlines, it's hard not to see this as a moment where personal and professional battles collide. Shields isn't just defending her record, she's defending her legacy. And if Cam's promo was meant to diminish her, it backfired spectacularly. Because now, every time he opens his mouth, he's not just talking to Shields, he's talking to every fan who's ever felt like the industry doesn't take women's boxing seriously. But here's the twist. While Shields is firing off public clapbacks, the show's producers are rubbing their hands together, seeing dollar signs in this feud. Rumors are swirling that they're actively baiting Shields to confront Cam live on air, framing it as her chance to put him in his place.
And we're here to clarify it, and anyone that feels different, feel free to just come on live and share your gripes. We really would like to hear it, because we really like it is what it is to be a non-biased platform. Sometimes we give strong views because that's really how sometimes we feel about things, and we wanted to create a platform where people can say how they really feel.
And let's be honest, this isn't about justice, it's about ratings. The same network that's been begging Shields to appear for months is now dangling the ultimate carrot, a platform to silence her critics in real time. But here's the question no one's asking. What happens if Shields takes the bait? Because if there's one thing we know about live TV, it's that once the cameras start rolling, anything can happen. And with Shields' temper already lit and Cam's reputation for pushing buttons, this confrontation could go from verbal sparring to all-out war in seconds. And let's not forget the wild card in all of this, Papoose. The rapper's messy divorce from Remy Ma has already spilled into the streets, with leaked texts, accusations of infidelity, and even claims of physical altercations. Now, Shields is caught in the middle, her name dragged into a love triangle that's playing out in real time. Remy's already challenged her to a boxing match, taunting her with, "Come get your whooped, crash out." And while Shields laughed it off, the invitation's still out there. So when she steps into that studio to face Cam, will she be fighting for her legacy? Or will she be swinging at the chaos in her personal life, using Cam as a stand-in for every doubter, every hater, every tabloid headline that's tried to define her? There's another layer to this too, one that's got industry insiders whispering. Shields' deal with Win Records isn't just about boxing, it's about crossover opportunities, about blending sports and entertainment in a way that's never been done before.
Floyd set the bar so high, you know. Before Floyd, I'm talking about, if you're looking at Mike Tyson, if you're looking at Roy Jones, if you're looking at Muhammad Ali or whatever generation you came in. Sugar Ray. All of them had losses.
Yeah.
Floyd left with no losses, so now everybody's scared to lose they owe.
Yeah.
The bar is set too.
And with Papooses' drama threatening to overshadow her professional wins, the pressure's on to keep the focus where it belongs, on her dominance in the ring. But when you've got a host like Cam openly questioning your draw, and a network eager to turn your feud into must-see TV, the line between personal and professional starts to blur. And if Shields loses control, even for a second, it could cost her more than just a verbal spat. It could cost her the narrative she spent years building. So where does that leave us? With a champion who's got everything to prove, a host who's made a career out of pushing buttons, and a network that's betting big on their clash. The stage is set. The cameras are ready. And if Shields walks into that studio, she won't just be facing Cam. She'll be facing every doubt, every slight, and every headline that's ever tried to diminish her. The only question left is simple. When the lights go live, who's going to throw the first punch? And that brings us to you, the viewers. We've laid out the facts, the rumors, and the high-stakes drama. But now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Claressa Shields is using this feud to distract from her personal chaos? Or is Cam the one playing with fire by underestimating a champion who's never backed down from a fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is far from over. And as always, stay locked in, because when it comes to Shields, the next round is always the most explosive. Until next time, keep your gloves up and your opinions sharper. We'll see you ringside.